Rhonda, thanks so much for the opportunity to come in and talk to you here with the Prince George's County Chamber of Commerce. As president of the chamber, and a business executive in this community, can the business community and the school system formulate effective partnerships that can truly impact student learning?
Definitely, and I agree with that with my whole heart. Businesses, business communities, business owners have the opportunity to partner within the schools that are either in their areas around their business or in the areas maybe possibly where their employees attend school and so forth, in a multitude of ways. Um, Businesses, of course, can provide financial support to the schools, but then the mentors and the opportunities for the students to connect and meet business people definitely has an impact on student achievement. An example is one of our members, Southern Management Corporation. They are the largest owner of apartment complexes in the county, and they are very involved in all of the schools that are around their apartment complexes. And the way that they are able to interact is that their employees mentor the students, and now the students have an opportunity to connect and interact with professional business people, learn those different areas, even the trade areas, the repair people, the maintenance staff. The students are able to connect with those students as well, with those employees as well, and get an opportunity to learn and see if this is a field that they're interested in. They've also recently just opened an Oxon Hill community center that's for their the residents there.
Mm-hmm.
But they have a huge section for tutoring and after-school activities and so forth, and that has had a major impact on student achievement in that area. And I believe businesses can do that, maybe not that huge of a scale, depending on the size of the business, but we can all, in some way, provide some form of help to help student achievement, whether it's just by volunteering, supporting, purchasing school supplies, those types of things.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much. Over the past 8 years or so, we've witnessed an explosion in education entrepreneurs. Companies range in size from those national players that you've heard of, the Sylvans and the Huntingtons, to smaller regional players like Porter Education and Communications, and then you have a small mom and pop. And we've had this huge groundswell of companies whose sole mission is to work in tandem with the school system. But with the pending reauthorization of the No Child Left Behind Act, and the signaling from the White House that they're not necessarily in favor of certain provisions, many of these companies that have propped up, whose mission is to work with school systems effectively, and there have been some results, many of those companies may face closure. Do you support the involvement from a business perspective? Do you support the involvement of private, for-profit education companies working in tandem with the school system?
I do, from the business standpoint and also from the standpoint of a parent and students in the school system. The school system is taxed right now with the large number of students that are participating, the large number of students that they have to focus on. I come from a family of educators, and my mother, grandparents, all of them were educators. And to now go into a school system where the class sizes average 35 to 40 students, and there's one teacher to those 35 to 40 students, there are needs that can't be met by that one teacher. It's just reality.
Sure.
It's just reality.
Sure.
So it's not taking away from the ability of that teacher to partner with these organizations. I believe it's enhancing the ability of that teacher, because now the student who may be advanced can move forward in that role. The student that may be having some challenges can now get that additional support. The student that's kind of middle of the road, these organizations can help them become that student that's excelling and achieving. So definitely their role, involvement in the school system, I believe is important and necessary. And definitely as a business person, any opportunity to provide more business opportunities is important as well. And I believe the school system is an area where the business community and the local community can partner and really provide some great opportunities.
Thank you very much, Ryan. What advice would you give individuals like you who lead an organization like the Chamber of Commerce? What kind of advice would you give your colleagues on a national level? What kind of advice would you give them in really trying to build these kind of capacities, where we're trying to marry off private industry and the public institution,
Mm-hmm.
and have that collaboration yield some results? What advice would you give?
Definitely to show up, to be at the table. I believe we have the tendency to complain, but not to participate.
Oh, okay.
And so in order to affect change, we have to be a part of the process.
Mhm.
So it's get involved, interact with your superintendent, with your local schools, with the business organizations within the schools,
Mhm.
with the students. It's important, again, there's a difference often from the student standpoint and the legislator or the administrator standpoint. Find out what the students are in need of as well. And I believe that, of course, will make things more effective, but also give an opportunity to see where there is room for change,
Mhm.
and go ahead and affect that change. We have to participate not from a standpoint of criticism,
Mhm.
but from a standpoint of support. And again, there are different knowledge sets and skill sets that are involved with being in business that I believe can benefit the
Mhm.
school system. You know, oftentimes, and it's, again, not a negative response to the school system, they get caught up in their processes
That's
and the
right.
ways of doing things, where business owners may have a more succinct and innovative way
Okay.
that could be of greater benefit rather than the traditional process.
So you do see the value-added benefit of the private sector?
Yes.
And with respect to innovation, creativity, out-of-the-box thinking?
Definitely,
Mhm.
definitely,
Mhm.
without a doubt. You know, again, when you're dealing with the school system, especially at some of the higher levels, oftentimes people have been in those positions or in that area for decades.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
things have
Sure,
changed, and
sure.
things change now, especially with technology,
Mhm.
almost weekly. And so to
Sure.
be able to deal with and interact with business people that are the subject matter experts in those areas
Mhm.
can only enhance what the school systems are offering.
Sure. I know that your chamber is very, very active and very visible in this jurisdiction.
Right.
But you've got a very active education committee. Most recently, you hosted the superintendent
Yes.
for a Q&A session
Yes.
and that type of thing. Talk a little bit about some of the programs that you have here in your chamber.
Well, yeah, definitely. I believe we're really blessed to have a very strong education committee that is comprised of people that are within the school system,
Mhm.
but also business owners who have a heart for education. We all realize that one of the key drivers in economic development is the education system. And that's one of the excuses that some companies use as to why they're not located here in Prince
Sure.
George's.
Mhm.
So we realize that this is, again, an opportunity for us not to complain, but to participate.
Mhm.
So our education committee meets every month. They come together and discuss opportunities and ways to enhance career technical education, enhance teacher retention and recruitment, those
Mhm.
types of things that, of
Very
course,
important.
definitely impact the school system, but also ways that businesses can partner with the school system. So one of those programs that we have, it's kind of a fun program, but also has a longer reaching role, is our Principal for a Day,
Mm.
where business owners shadow a principal for a day. It's a set day of the year. And it really enlightens the business owners as to the challenges that principals face on a
Mhm.
day-to-day
Sure,
basis.
sure.
And again, it gives an opportunity to interact with the students. Again, I believe as business owners, sometimes we can also get caught up in our own worlds and not
Sure.
realize the things that students are having to address on a daily basis. So to be out there and to have to do cafeteria duty or the
Mhm.
parking lot duty in
Mhm.
addition to the instruction, it really helps.
Sure.
And so that develops those partnerships going forward. So now this business owner now has a personal relationship with the principal.
Mhm.
They know what's needed at the school. They're then able to go back to their networks and help bring in whether it's school supplies or decorating for the day or landscaping, whatever might be needed
Sure,
for that school in
sure.
order to enhance learning.
I
We
was,
also-
I'm sorry, I participated in that wonderful
Yes.
program for a number of years.
Yes.
And I did get a number of requests from the
Mhm.
school and wound up really having a great relationship with the principal over her tenure there. And they asked if I could help buy school uniforms and,
Right.
just provide those kind of things that perhaps if parents are not in a financial position to
Yes.
provide everything that their kids need. It's a wonderful program.
It
And
is.
so we had a long relationship.
Mhm,
with
it
that
is,
middle
and
school.
I love it, and I believe each year it continues to grow.
Mhm.
And our goal, of course, is to have every school covered with the principal, and we're getting to that goal.
How many schools do you have here?
There are 211. I
Over
believe.
200 schools
Over
in the
200
your
schools in
jurisdiction.
this county. I know 130,000+ students
Wow.
in the Prince George's County Public School System. It's one of the largest in the state.
Mhm.
And so it is important for business owners to really participate and get involved. Here at the Chamber, we also do do an annual back-to-school drive every
Mhm.
year,
Sure.
back-to-school supply drive every year. The first